previous installments of this retrospective, we have seen Solid Snake go from a rookie to a legend, and we have seen the legend through the eyes of a rookie. But we still hadn't seen the story that started it all. Why did Big Boss go rogue? And why was he a soldier legendary enough to have been cloned? In 2004, we would learn this story. Instead of continuing the hunt for Ocelot and the Patriots in MGS3, Kojima decided to take a trip back in time and tell Big Boss's story. The year is 1964, right in the middle of the Cold War, and a CIA operative is sent into the jungles of Selino-Yarsk in the USSR. The operative's codename is Naked Snake, another porno-esque name. What's with all the dirty names? Naked Snake is guided through radio by his commanding officer codenamed Major Tom, which is both a reference to the David Bowie song Space Oddity with the lyrics, "Can you hear me, Major Tom?" And it is also a reference to one of the 3 tunnels that were used to escape a Nazi POW camp, both in reality and in the movie The Great Escape. Naked Snake is sent on the Virtuous mission to rescue a defecting Soviet scientist named Sokolov, who is developing a nuclear-equipped tank named the Shagohod. They are confronted by a young Revolver Ocelot, along with his unit, but Snake takes quick care of them, knocking Ocelot out and leaving him alive, because he is still young, not much older than a kid. However, if you shoot Ocelot and kill him afterward, it will cause a game over due to a time paradox. Naked Snake rescues Sokolov, and all seems to be going according to plan, until they are stopped on a suspension bridge by a woman. The woman is the Boss, a legend on the battlefield. She had been a World War II hero with her unit known as the Cobras, and she was Naked Snake's mentor, developing their own form of close quarters combat, or CQC, together. It is soon discovered that the Boss is defecting from America to the Soviet Union, and she has brought along 2 miniature nuclear shells and a Davy Crockett system. This system was devised as a last-ditch effort that would allow a single soldier to launch a small nuclear shell from anywhere. The Cobras have defected along with her, and together they join the side of Colonel Volgan of the Spetsnaz group. The Boss then fights Snake, but since she is his mentor, she has the upper hand, and she throws him from the bridge to the river below as the Cobras take Sokolov along with them. Snake, guided by the medical expert paramedic, must then mend his wounds with a new medical treatment gameplay mechanic that would be used throughout the game to heal everything from leeches being stuck to Snake to burns to broken bones. However, as Snake is tending to his wounds, Colonel Volgan does something completely unexpected and launches the Davy Crockett onto his own homeland, destroying much of the area with a nuclear blast and causing even higher tensions between the United States and the Soviet Union. After being brought back to the States and spending several weeks in recovery, Snake must then return to the USSR to kill Volgan and the Boss to prevent World War III. Snake returns to the USSR, this time with the radio help of Major Tom, who has changed his codename to Major Zero, because of the fact that he made a mistake by thinking it was the tunnel named Tom used for the escape, when it was actually the tunnel named Harry that was used for the escape of the POWs. He also has the help of Paramedic, the medical expert from the Virtuous mission, and Sigint, who is a technology expert and a member of ARPANET, which would later become DARPA, and Sigint would become the DARPA chief. Yes, Sigint is Donald Anderson from Metal Gear Solid. After being dropped back into the areas around Selino-Yarsk, Snake must again find Sokolov, meet informants on the inside codenamed Adam and Eve, stop the Cobras, and put an end to Volgan, the Boss, and the Shagohod. He is also ordered to retrieve the Philosopher's Legacy, a microfilm that contains a large amount of money. Not long after being dropped back into the USSR, Snake comes in contact with Eva, a female spy that is also posing as Tatiana, a lover, or rather, more like a slave, of Volgan's. Snake then continues on his mission to infiltrate deeper into the area. He encounters and disposes of each of the Cobras, one by one, throughout his mission. Each of the Cobras is given an emotion that they carry into battle. The Pain, a man that has control over bees because he keeps the queen bee in his backpack. His body is covered with numerous bee stings, and he hides his face behind a ski mask. The Fear, a man that uses an early form of the self-camouflage, and he is armed with a crossbow, with bolts that are coated with the venom of the Brazilian wandering spider, making them extremely deadly. He also is known to set them on fire or equip them with explosives. His name is very fitting because he is a very creepy individual, with a forked tongue and the ability to dislocate his limbs and climb backwards up trees like a spider. The Sorrow, the ghost of a man that was formerly in the Cobras. He was a psychic and had the ability to call upon the spirits of soldiers to help him in battle or give him vital information on the enemy. He was brought there several years prior in a mission for the USSR, but his lover, the Boss, was forced to kill him. The End, a very old World War I sniper that comes equipped with the Mosin Nagant tranquilizer sniper rifle. He can communicate with nature and uses nature itself as his spotter. He is also one with nature because he has plant life that lives within him and keeps him alive. but he sleeps until his target is in sight. In order to fight him, you have to use a directional microphone to listen for him to find out where he is. Or of course you can kill him before the fight, or even change the internal clock on your system to a few weeks ahead and he will just die of old age. The Fury, a former astronaut that was terribly burned upon re-entry into the atmosphere. He comes equipped with a jetpack and a flamethrower, along with an astronaut's helmet to protect him. Then of course there is the boss. Her actual codename is the Joy. She brings the joy of battle, and she is the leader of the Cobras. After disposing of some of the Cobras, Snake is captured and interrogated by Volgan. At one point, Ocelot is showing off, juggling his guns and playing a sick game of Russian roulette with Snake. But the boss stops him and causes the gun to go off, blinding Snake in one eye and giving him the trademark eye patch we know today. After taking out all of the Cobras, aside from the boss, Snake confronts Colonel Volgan in hand-to-hand combat. Colonel Volgan is a large man who was given the nickname Thunderbolt for his ability to control electricity. He is a violent man and a sadist. After defeating him, the explosives that Snake planted around the Shagohod blow up and Snake makes his escape. But the Shagohod is not destroyed. Snake rides in the sidecar that is attached to Eva's motorcycle, and Volgan takes control of the Shagohod and chases after them, destroying everything in his path. Eventually they make it to a bridge where Eva has placed some C3 explosives, and Snake must shoot them with a sniper rifle in order to take out the bridge, and the Shagohod along with it. Volgan ejects the rocket propulsion system from the back of the Shagohod to save him from going down with it, and then Snake must destroy what is left of the Shagohod and kill Volgan. After killing Volgan, Snake and Eva escape on Eva's motorcycle, but they are chased by soldiers and they eventually crash, injuring Eva. And then you have to do a long and tedious escort mission to escort Eva to the plane to escape the area. But Snake still has one more thing to take care of. The boss is waiting for him. Snake must then fight the boss in a field of beautiful white flowers, and then he must kill her. Snake is forced to kill not only his mentor, but also the only motherly figure he knew. Snake then boards the plane and Ocelot chases after them, boarding the plane as well. Then Ocelot challenges Snake to a duel like in the old western days. Only catch is, there is only one bullet, and Snake must choose the right gun. But no matter which gun you choose, neither of them die. The bullet is a blank, and Ocelot was just playing a joke. Ocelot then jumps out of the plane and into the waters of the lake below. Snake and Eva return to the US, and they spend a very intimate night together. But when Snake wakes up, he is alone. A recording from Eva is left for him. In the recording, it is revealed that Eva was an agent that was working for China all along, and that the real Eva was actually a man, and that he and Adam never showed up. She also reveals that the boss was not a traitor. It was her mission to get close to Volgan, but he set off a nuke and changed the plans, causing her to be viewed as a traitor and a villain, and she knew that her most loyal student would have to kill her in order to prevent World War III, and she carried out her mission, and allowed herself to be killed by Snake. She would go down in history as the evil villain who had tried to start World War III, but in reality she was a true patriot to her country, giving up her life to stop all-out war. She was a true hero. Eva also stole the philosopher's legacy for China, but unfortunately for her, it was a fake. America obtained the real legacy. Snake is later brought into the Oval Office with the President and is given high honors, including the honor of the codename of Big Boss, for defeating the legendary boss. But he did not want the name. He was no hero. He was just a pawn that was used to kill someone he cared about. It is later discovered that Ocelot was actually Adam all along, and he was working on things from the inside. He was a double agent from the very start, and this chronic backstabbing disorder is a theme that would stick with Ocelot in the future. It is also hinted at through radio conversation that Ocelot is actually the child of the boss and the Sorrow. Kojima had another big hit game that won many awards and sold very well. It had new gameplay elements like the medical treatment mechanic and also a camouflage mechanic that would show Snake's camo rating with several different options for camouflage that could be changed at any time, allowing for many different looks. There was also a new eating mechanic where Snake had to eat various foods that he found along his mission in order to keep his stamina gauge up. If the stamina gauge dropped too low, Snake would have trouble aiming his weapon. The game's graphics and story were also praised, making it the favorite in the series for many gamers, but my favorite is still Metal Gear Solid. But this one is a close second. Kojima had crafted a deep and engrossing story with his series of games, but there was still much more to come. Join me next time to see how Metal Gear went portable.